Say hi. Hello. Hello. Say hi. Hello. Hello. He decided that he'll be here now. Hello, everybody. How are you? Wait, I think I need to go manually live on Instagram. How is everyone? Wait, let me greet everybody. Hi, Davak. They're saying hi to you, baby. They're saying hi to you. Say hi. Um, who? Say hi, baby. Hi, everybody. How is everyone? Let me just go live on Instagram. Such a strange thing. This platform that I'm using, it's called Restream. It's good in everything except for Instagram because I still have to manually um, go live on Instagram. Let me see if I can do this. Instagram. It says that I'm streaming. Okay, save. Hi. Okay, and then I go live, I guess. Hi, everyone. How is everybody? Wait, I'm trying to see your names. Okay. It won't be let go. Okay. Never mind. I guess I won't be live on Instagram. Let me say hi to everyone. Okay. Oh, it's a lot of you. Debbie, Eliz, Fire Butterfly, Darren, O, O, Beth, Fire Butterfly, Cindy, Z, MIB, Rose, Rosy Splendor, Shelling, Beth, Marie Angel Star, Arlene, Leah, Hoan, Darren, Seda, Fire Butterfly. I said yes. I said hello already, right? Leah, Anne, Bedon, JJ. Fire Butterfly is both on Twitch and YouTube. BTS Paved the Way, Ice Rose from Cali with Love, Angel Star, Lakeisha, Chelsea, Lindsay, Z, Danji, Evie, Lara, Sida or Seda, Beth Davidson. I see the people that are actually I will be meeting for J-Hope's concert. We're gonna go Korean barbecue. So join us. Sasha, Miso Soup, Floor, Erickson, Susie, Beeb, Amy, Raquel, I am Claudia, Jackie, Carmen, Katie Dreams. Hello. I'm going to get in touch with you, Katie Dreams, for the tickets. I will email you later. Dodger Girl, Nikon Lady, Dawn Marie, JR, MG, MLB, Mary Lil Rock, Elaine, Celeste, Soap Shop, Personal Space. Hello. Is your first time here? Bora Winkle, Dodger Girl, Paula, Reg, Kanitra, Eva, One Hot Sean, Caribbean Lady, BTS Paved the Way. I'm in the USA at the moment. Oh, hi. Orchid MSC. Where in the USA are you? Carla Girl, Kathy, Multi Stan, Beth Davidson, Eva, Reina, Veruca, Elizabeth, Judith, Existing Psychology, Lara, Patty. Oh, we have somebody from X. Bora Winkle, V Heart, Cynthia. Oh, another one from X. JM Karma. No pen, no desk, no opinion. That is funny. Okay. BTS Eden, Shelly Beck. Okay, I think I've said hi to everybody. Joanne, me too. Kathy, Drummer Squirrel, Carla Girl, Cassandra, Okay, I think I've said hello to everybody. Sheila. Sam, chicken is very yummy. It is very yummy. I don't eat pork or beef. Chicken is the only meat. Well, I eat fish. Um, Yvette. Okay. Okay, I think that's Tisa, Marilyn. Hello. So I actually don't eat pork or beef. I only eat chicken or fish. Susie, Romy, Miss Kim. Is it true that JK is getting hacked on his stocks? Plum Chimmy LV, share your love. Hello. Okay, so let's get to that quickly because we have quite a number of things to talk about today. Let's talk about Jungkook's stocks. So someone published a story about JK stocks getting hacked. So his identity was compromised. Somebody was able to get his personal information and they opened a second account for him, a second stocks account. So what this person did was transfer some of Jungkook's stocks into the account that he created using Jungkook's identity, but he was controlling it, or she, whatever. Now they were able to recover it. So I guess Jungkook learned about it, and then most likely he asked Big Hit. I'm assuming this part because they didn't say how it happened exactly, but they were able to sue the person. What happened was that they asked the court to um, ask the person who bought the stocks. So let's do it one more time. So somebody hacked Jungkook's identity, and he pretended to be Jungkook. He created an account. So from the original stocks account of Jungkook, he transferred a portion of it, not all of it, a portion of it to his own account, and then sold it to somebody else. So there is a third person who ended up owning the account. Now, what the court did, so Jungkook learned about it and then most likely asked Big Hit to do something about it. So they were what the law firm of Big Hit did was ask the court to recover the stocks from the third person who bought it, from the third person, who ended up buying it. Now, initially, of course, the person didn't want it to return it, but according to the court, you bought the stocks illegally without proper channels. You didn't go through proper channels. You ended up having the account, but you did not buy it the proper way. So the court compelled that person to return the stocks. So Jungkook got it back, all of it. He already has it. So the problem is that so they were able to identify the person who ended up buying it. They weren't able to identify the person who was first to get the stocks from Jungkook's account and then sold it to the third person. That is it. That's the end of the story. They said they haven't identified it, but they're still working on it, and that they enhanced the security of Jungkook's accounts or whatever, phones and all of that stuff. Okay, so the reason I didn't really want to talk about it is because it's a personal thing. I guess had it not been leaked, had the story not been leaked, most likely Big Hit wouldn't say anything about it, and I can understand why. I wouldn't want my finances broadcasted to the world unless it is my choice, right? So I understand why they didn't talk about it at first. It isn't about anybody not taking accountability for anything. It's just that it's a personal matter. Jungkook's finances, his businesses outside of Big Hit, is his business outside of Big Hit. So I don't think the story was disclosed because Jungkook voluntarily told people about it. It was disclosed because it was leaked by somebody. And so that's why I'm not comfortable talking about it. I hate that it happened to him, and I'm glad that they enhanced the security. But further than that, I don't want people speculating about his money or his investments or where he puts his money, whatever. The only other thing that we do need to remember is that unless the kids, the BTS members, make it be Big Hit's business. Their personal business is their personal business, and they have emphasized that in the past, both BTS and Big Hit, that when it comes to big BTS's personal businesses, they don't really have anything on it. They don't have a say on it. So as I've said, I think the only reason they ended up talking about what happened was because it was disclosed by someone and they had to explain. Most likely they asked for, this is speculation, but I'm assuming that they asked Jungkook's permission to actually release a statement about it. And so I would think that it would be proper for us to leave it at that, because I mean, what can we do? There's, it's out of our hands, and I'm sure that both Big Hit and Jungkook would rather deal with this privately and resolve things, because that's better in a case like this, right? If the person knows that he's being haunted, most likely he's going to hide better. So let's just leave it at that. It's none of our business, and let's just. I think if there's anything, the best thing to do is learn how we can protect ourselves, right? So if you are going to invest in stocks, if you have a retirement account, 401k, IRA, or if you are from another country, if you have a retirement account, most likely the retirement account that you're investing in, that company is invested in the stock market. And so as to a certain degree you are protected. But if you are directly investing in the stock market, then just make sure that you do not, this I highly discourage, don't put it on your phone. Don't put the app on your phone. So that there are different platforms that you can use to invest. I use Fidelity, Vanguard, Robinhood, all of those different, because I diversify the platforms where I'm going to invest, where I invest. So don't put it on your phone, because if your phone gets stolen, there's a huge possibility they can access your stocks. I personally don't put it on my phone. I use a specific computer, and I don't save the passwords. I erase my memory, and as much as I can, I make the password really difficult to remember, and I reset my password every now and then. I also change the email address every now and then in order to not leave any kind of pattern. So and your password really has to be secure. Don't do like password 123 check mark or something like that. Don't do that kind of password. Like, create an actual password for that. Don't talk about, like, don't tell anybody what it is that, your passwords or the email address that you're using. And also make sure that your IDs are protected. Don't leave it around because the minute they know, especially if you're in the US, the minute they know your birth date, you're done for. That is all they need. The minute they know your birth date, they can get access to a lot of things. So don't allow people to have access to your ID. Of course, if you're in the US, especially your social security. So please, people, be very, very careful. If there's anything that we take from it, I think that's better, instead of like speculating what happened with his money and whatever. Let him deal with it. Again, I don't think they would have disclosed it if it wasn't for that publication who leaked the story. I think otherwise they would have kept it a secret, because that happened quite some time ago. So let's respect Jungkook's privacy. Okay. Fire Butterfly said, "If you are alive, you can be found." Yes, that is true. That is true. So those are the things that I personally do to protect my, like, finances. None of my banks. I have just one bank on my phone, just for emergency, and I only keep a specific amount in that bank account, just in case I need, like, an emergency. Other than that, I don't put my my banking information on my phone. I don't have my phone app. I'm sorry, my banking app on my phone. And I don't save the passwords on my computers for my banks. So yeah, you, you can never be too careful when it comes to your money, especially if it's your retirement account or if it is a big investment. So please be very, very careful with yours. Okay. 100% none of our business. um, okay. All right. Any question about it? Anything that you want to know other than what has already been published that I you think I can answer? Carlager said, I feel like it may be an inside job that had so much information on him. I'm just happy he got everything back and I hope that they catch the person. Yeah, I mean, that's the first thing that came into my head, like, oh, maybe this is an inside job. But then again, there must be a lot of people are saying it must be because they want some sort of a media play on it, like Jungkook is selling his stocks, like they want to eventually be able to say Jungkook is slowly selling his stocks of Hybe. um I don't know. Again, I think part of the discomfort on my end to discuss it is that he wasn't the one who actually voluntarily relayed the story to the public. It was leaked by a publication. So all right. I feel like since Big Hit and Jungkook is handling it, we should leave it at that. Yes, we should. CP said more than 50% of Baby Monster's concert tickets were not sold in USA. Since the concert in September, can we expect them to sell tickets or will they cancel their show? I think what they did for Baby Monster is that they closed off the upper part. So they're only selling floor and lower box. So yeah, and then the upper part they closed all of it. And they've decided that like very early, because if you go to Ticket Monster, sorry, it is Ticket Monster. Okay, now you know that's how I call Ticket Master. Ticket Monster. Okay, so if you go to TM, you will notice that the upper part of their concerts, their venues, like it's totally uh it's totally just it's nothing. You can't buy any kind of ticket from there. So yeah. Okay. Do we know where MHJ's shaman is? We still don't know. That's how I call them, because they are ticket monsters. They're monsters. Okay. Freudian slip, I guess. Okay, what baby monster? A Pokemon movie? No, it's a girl group under YG. So I think they released. They're really gutsy. I mean, they released one full album, several singles, but I think those singles were also included in the first album, and then they just toured. So they're touring different parts of Asia, and they're pretty successful, I heard. But for North America, that's what they did. The upper part of their venue, because it's an arena tour. For some reason, they decided to do an arena tour. So they closed off the upper part. Right. Freudian slip. It is a Freudian slip. Okay. Don't tell on me. Don't go to Ticket Monster and okay. Yeah, so I think it's a lot of YG is still on his usual marketing tactic, and that is to fake it till you make it. So now that if once the tour is done, he can easily claim that Baby Monster is the fastest group to do an arena tour, sold out arena tour in the US, right? And so that makes it easier, and he can present that as a part of the portfolio of Baby Monster, to different brands for brand ambassadors as a special in Netflix, and that will become part of the portfolio and the marketing, um, strategy, the marketing material of Baby Monster. So, and that is essentially the same strategy that he used for all his other groups. The fake it till you make it strategy, like make it them appear really big right off the bat, and then let the success follow him. So I'm not really surprised that he's doing it. I just hope that, of course, I like Baby Monster. Actually, my bias is Ion. He's my bias. She's my bias. So I definitely want them to succeed. I don't want whatever. I don't agree with YG's marketing tactic. Although, as you know, I admit that he's a very good marketer. So I wouldn't necessarily use the same strategy as he's using, but you can't really argue with success. And he has been successful in launching all of those big groups with not a lot of meat in their portfolio. So he's really good, that I have to admit. But I just hope that they have enough financial fortitude to actually carry this through. Because then you also have Blackpink, who hasn't really moved their tickets. I mean, as I've mentioned the last time, I think they sold out one venue in LA, and then one date in LA, one date in Canada, and then the rest, there's still a lot of tickets. And Europe, most of Europe, they're an absolute disaster at this stage. So has BP sold out Wembley yet? No, they have not sold out Wembley yet. So yeah, that's two tours that he's taking a hit on, right? He's taking a huge hit on those two. So the good thing is that most likely he's going to be declaring the entire tour a success. So he will declare that sold out the same way that he did for Blackpink's tour. So all up to the end of the year, he's going to declare it a sold out, and then the next year is when he's going to try and put in his write-off, meaning that's when he will claim the losses the same way he did for Blackpink. So he will have this year where the his books will really look good because he has two tours, two different groups. And then I think 21 is also touring. So one good year until the end of the year, and that good books will actually be used for future investments. He can show that around and get new investors. So how long can he fake it? Hmm, good question. I mean, for he was able to do it for a really long time. I mean, from the days of Big Bang all the way to now, right? It was only this year that we learned about the losses. Because the good thing about what he did in the past is that he acquired different companies. And then when they were starting to take a loss in the music department, which is their main business, he started selling the companies that he owned. And so the negative revenue from music wasn't really showing because it was being covered by the sale of the different companies that he owned. So right now he has lost almost everything. He still has YG Plus, which is the distribution arm. So he still has that, and that's pretty big. I think he has one more company, so he can still cover that up pretty good. But then how long? Um, say bye, baby. Say bye, bye. Bye, bye. Bye. Bye, boy. Say bye. Bye, boy. Bye, bye. 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 He cut his fur because it's starting to get really hot. You don't want to go down. So I think one thing that he has not considered, and I may be speaking out of turn, he's a way better marketer than I am, obviously. Otherwise, I will be the one who's a billionaire. The one thing that he hasn't considered is how technology and times are changing, right? Like people are getting wiser when it comes to checking facts. It's easier for people to find out what he is manipulating. In the old days, all those press release about Big Bang actually selling out their venues in Japan, it wasn't so easy to access because barely is anyone posting pictures online. And even if it was posted online, the algorithm wasn't so sophisticated so that it's easier to find. Now it's so sophisticated. So I think like that tour of Baby Monster, one check, like go to Ticket Monster. I really can now. I'm just gonna call them Ticket Monster. If you go to Ticket, do you want to see? Okay, let me see if I can show you. If you go to Ticket Monster, I'm just gonna say it. Well, you know, they have a thicker skin. They're a U.S. company, so they have a thicker skin. So if you go, like, it's so easy nowadays. You just go to the site and you will see exactly what they're selling and what they are not selling. It was harder then during the era of Big Bang or whatever because it's so hard. Hardly anybody was posting picture, and if even if people were posting picture, as I've said, the algorithm wasn't sophisticated enough yet to be easier to make it easy for people to research. Now you just punch in several keywords, you're probably going to get it. And then there's also the connection, like ask somebody and you'll probably get the information. So let's go to Ticket Monster. Okay. It's I started to watch two solos, Henny and Daniel, but I'm not sure. I did not. I really didn't. I think objectively, and I'm not like objectively, the new song is just bad. I think, although in all fairness, I'm watching from a fan camera, so maybe the distortion of the quality of the sound is actually making it hard. Maybe. So let's search for for Baby Monster. Okay, on Ticket Monster. All right, so you can see how they actually did it. Okay, let's go um here. So here, I'll share this with you so you know what I'm talking about. So do you see seats 20s, like 203, 202, 201, 216, 213, 212? So all of that they closed that. It's not sold out. They just closed it. So usually you would know, and they still have a lot of tickets like that. Those the blue ones, that's standard admission, that's not resell. And I think the yellow is the VIP package, and pink is reselling. So they have a lot of tickets left. So that is all state. And then they have and they're going to like like states that you wouldn't usually go to. This is Georgia. So that all of that is close again. So if you go closer, you will see they have a lot of tickets left. A lot of tickets left. Are you seeing it? Are you seeing? Okay, good. You're seeing it. Maybe I should make it bigger. Wait, so that you can see it better. Okay. So that would be Georgia, and then this is Texas. So same thing, that entire thing is closed, and then if you zoom, still a lot of blue. So yellow is VIP, pink that's resell, and then blue for regular for regular tickets. So maybe we can go to like the more popular um Oakland. How's that? Let's go to Oakland. So same thing, they closed all of it, the topmost, and then they still have a lot of blue tickets left. So yeah, you know, September is far away. Yes, they can still definitely sell it out. I hope they do. As I've said, I mean, Ion is actually my bias. I definitely want the best for her. And, she's, I feel like she really is working very hard for the group, that I think she deserves to succeed. And so, and the rest of the group as well. So, all right. So let's go to our next topic. Should we? That's a lot of blue. It is a lot of blue. Okay, let's go to our next topic. And I want to cover J Hope real quick, but that I will do that as soon as I find the slides that I have for him. Okay. Maybe I did not add it, but let's go to J Hope first because this is pretty quick. And I also feel like a lot of people misunderstood what he said. So, in the latest video that they released, this is the behind the scene, the making of Sweet Dreams and Mona Lisa. And in there, he was actually very open. He really opened up. And I think he just, he allowed his vulnerabilities to be shown to the public. So what he said was that in the very beginning of the video, he actually said that his number one goal is to make music that everyone can enjoy. Okay. So that was clear, and that was the very opening even before they do the credits. He said that he wants to make music that everyone can enjoy. And actually, the very right after he said it, I felt that was a really unique approach if you compare it to his other releases. Because remember, he went really dark with Jack in the Box, and then he went on to explore the origins of street dance in relation to hip hop with his next album. So if you observe his portfolio, his discography, it's actually very much, it's always centered on his own story, on the things that he wants to say, and his journey as an artist. So for him to say that, I just want to make music that everyone can enjoy, that in itself is a very unique approach for J Hope. Okay. But as usual, people were quick to judge what he was trying to say. Okay. So let's see if I can show you the actual video. I thought that I can actually do it through the slides, but apparently no. So let's do it this way. So he said that, he basically said that he wanted, like, he said that it is very normal for artists to be happy when their songs chart high in Billboard Hot 100. That is the assumption in Billboard Hot 100. But for, okay, here.
차트가 높아서 안 좋아하는 가수가 어디 있겠어요? 그러잖아요.
Okay. So let's pass for, okay. So he said that he used to shield himself and console himself and say that it's okay. Like, I'd like to tell myself I was just making music that I wanted to make. So for him, like, even if he doesn't chart very high, it's okay because he was making something that he actually liked, that it was his music, it was his identity. So even if it's not charting as high, that's fine for him. So he said that this time he wanted to make music that is more that is actually targeting a better result. And in the context of what he was saying, he was talking about charting in Billboard Hot 100 or probably even UK chart. So he said that this time I'm actually just going to be open about it. He's just going to say it. He said, I'm just going to be open about my goal. And even if it doesn't happen, it's okay. He said, I'm not going to be disappointed. I'm just going to be a little
변한 적이
sad,
있어서
but I'm not going to be there. This time I'm releasing music with a specific goal in mind. And then he said that I know that things might not work out, even after all these goals that I've said, but I won't be disappointed. Okay. So he said that as I will just feel sad, but that's a sadness that I can keep to myself. And all that matters is that people who love me love the music that I'm making. But he was getting a lot of flack from a lot of people because haters, as usual, solos or just BTS haters are saying that he's begging his fans to help him chart in Billboard Hot 100. And so that's a little off for me. I don't understand that reaction primarily because BTS has always been one group who's open about their goals. They've said it so many times before. When they were starting out, they would openly declare what they wanted to achieve. And they actually got a lot of hate for it. They were insulted for it, which I don't understand because I don't think there's anything wrong with people openly expressing what they want to achieve. There, and we have to recognize that the problem or the challenge with openly declaring your goals is that you're also openly declaring your possible disappointment to the world, right? So it's not just yours. And that and a lot of us aren't even capable of dealing with failures by ourselves, let alone a failure that the others will be watching you go through, right? So I don't understand why people aren't actually giving him credit for being so courageous to openly express his goal. Shouldn't we be recognizing that courage and actually praising him for that courage? Because quite honestly, that's heart. What he did on that video, that's actually heart, and that's the heart of a champion. And I'm not even exaggerating. This is the kind of heart that personalities like Kobe Bryant has, Tom Brady has. These are the people who are open about wanting to be the best, wanting to be champions, wanting to achieve this and that. And they themselves know that there is a possibility they won't be good or they won't achieve what they set out to achieve. They These are very, very competitive people. They don't like losing. But what's more important for them is that they are actually trying, right? They don't like losing, but they are more scared of actually not fighting for the dream that they have. So they would rather try and be disappointed than not try at all. So as I was mentioning earlier in the beginning, BTS themselves were very, very open. BTS members were very open about the fact that they had big goals for themselves. Remember, when they were first invited in Billboard Hot 100, they all openly said, specifically RM said that this is a real honor, but come on, invite us to perform next time. And they were invited to perform next time. So they said that they wanted to do this, they wanted to go number one, and they were able to achieve all of those goals. And weren't we there when they said they wanted to win Grammys? And they didn't win. They have not. They will, but they haven't won. Didn't we share the disappointment? But also, didn't we admire them for number one, taking it very, very well? We were there when the first instinct when they lost was that they reached for each other. They hugged each other and they congratulated each other. That we actually celebrated how they reacted more than the actual loss. So I felt like you're not giving J Hope credit for what he has shown. And this is the same courage and the same heart that BTS has shown us and that allowed BTS to actually achieve so many things. We admired BTS for their guts, the heart to dream, and the heart to fail. But more importantly, we actually tried to help in any way that we can. Even in their dreams where we felt like we didn't have anything to contribute, like Grammys, we tried hard to help in any way that we can. Why aren't we doing it for J Hope? He's doing the exact same thing. And it's very normal for a singer to actually dream of something the same way, dream of recognition, the same way an actress wants to win an Oscar, the same way an athlete wants to become a gold medalist or become a world champion in their sport, just same way other performers want to sold out a venue, a stadium when they do a concert. It's natural for J-Hope to want to rank in Billboard Hot 100 or any other chart. That's just part of being a singer. I think what is wrong, and I said this on Twitter, the only time a singer wanting to rank becomes an issue is if the only thing that they are wanting is to rank. If they're not actually working on their music, if they don't have any kind of creative identity, that's an issue. But that's not something that we can accuse J Hope of being. We can't accuse him of not caring about the quality of the music. That's what he has been doing the past 12 years, just caring about the quality of his music. Remember, he searched for his identity with Hope World and then went really, really dark the opposite way with Jack in the Box. And we were all shocked with what he was doing because we all knew this is not something commercial. And then he went, as I've said, to search for the origin or understand better hip hop, the history of hip hop in relation to street dancing. And he took us with him in that journey. So him wanting to create something smooth, something easier to listen with Mona Lisa and with Sweet Dreams, this is an evolution itself because he has never actually done something like this. This is part of his evolution. So this is not him compromising or selling out. This is part of his evolution. And remember that in the very beginning of the video, he actually said, I think my number one goal is to make music that everyone can enjoy. And so people just forget about that and decided to concentrate on that last part of the video. When in the very beginning, he was clear, this is what I want. I want to create something that everyone will enjoy. So I hope that people will just stop shaming other people for aiming for the moon. Because God knows we already have enough people settling for mediocrity and living a deadbeat life. So if somebody's actually there setting goals for themselves that we think is too high, I think we should applaud and I think we should actually help that person because that's what we need. And then the other thing is that are we forgetting that J-Hope is actually selling out all of his venues so far? And we have seen the fire and the participation in Mexico, in New York. Even he is getting surprised with the kind of interaction that he has. So this is not some ambitious who are you to dream of something like that kind of thing. This is J Hope. He's selling his venues. He has proven himself creatively, and he is one of the cornerstones of BTS, whether you like it or not. He is one of the three cornerstones of BTS because they were the first three members. So, okay. So let's just and remember, his sold out shows, the sold out venues, it's actually being confirmed by the venue itself. A lot of singers, not just K-pop, but a lot of singers will claim, "Oh, I sold out the venue," but there is no confirmation from the venue itself. That's just anybody. They're just claiming without having to present any kind of proof. For J Hope, the venues are actually confirming that it is sold out. So for those who have not seen that actual video, uh, I always advise people to just go to Weverse because that has the complete, like all of the videos that they are releasing, or you can go to Bangtan TV in YouTube and search for that, and you should be able to watch it. The Weverse videos are also the YouTube videos anyway. So There is no issue here other than people making it an issue. He's capable of doing whatever he wants. He is a top and want to have one more thing. It's totally valid. Yeah, I think that absolutely right. As I've said, this is just it's one of the many things that he has already achieved. You actually put it perfectly. He's achieved so much already. And I think on top of that list would be, as I've said, the way that he has actually explored his creativity and his artistic identity. And now that he knows what he's capable of doing, he can go very sweet, he can go very dark. And in all that, he has always been the commander of his own ship. He's the captain of his own ship, he commands his own army. And so this one time he felt like, okay, let's just sit back and see what will happen if I ask help from other producers and from other composers. That in itself is growth because he has not done this in the past. As opposed to other singers, they're actually asking other songwriters to do it and they just sing it. And that's okay. That is okay if that's what they want, for as long as they're not being forced to do it. But for J Hope, his choice has always been he is the one who commands his own army. Okay, why shouldn't he have dreams and evolve them over time? Goal is to make army happy. They do it through their music. How do we let them know we're connecting? I feel it's via understanding and appreciating of their music. Yeah, and then the other thing is that we have always been I've mentioned this actually in the presentation, that we have always been a part of their dreams and of their success. If they want something, they always are very vocal about it because that's how we try to help them move up. So I think it's very hypocritical to say that charts, sold out concerts don't do anything about the career of the artist. That's not true. Does it validate the artistry? It does not, but it does. It's a marketing tool basically, and we always need to constantly market and remarket BTS. Okay, someone was calling my name. I am so glad RM convinced him to return to BTS initially when he left. Correct. Correct. And okay. Carla girl, you so right. Mexico's concert blew my socks off. Army was amazing. All right. So that's for J Hope. What do you want to talk about next? You want to talk about Kakao or New Jeans? Our favorite New Jeans. Wait, do you have anything else that you want to say before I move on to my next topic? Every artist, Hoan said, should learn from him. He still performs so well being sick. Then you have American artists who cancel their shows for no reason or don't perform at all, or they just walk out of the stage. So I was surprised. So I saw on Twitter that he had like 38 degrees. His temperature was 38 degrees. And I'm like, oh my God, how is he performing at this level? I mean, other people would just drop dead at that temperature, but he was still like he forced himself. And I do remember Suga got sick right around the right halfway through. I think for Suga it was like more brutal because Suga didn't put any day in between. Like for J Hope, this is just my guess. I think J Hope got some tips from Suga because remember Suga would do like 3 shows in one row. Like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, he would do all of that. And I think that really took a toll on his body. So I think for J Hope, he would do in some of the stops, he would actually do 1 day gap in between. So for those of you who don't know this, okay. So usually if your setup is complicated, a lot of the concert promoters would opt to not dismantle your set if it is a very complicated set. And so that means because the venue won't be able to rent out the venue, the company won't be able to rent out the venue, you will end up paying for even on the days that you're not using it. So if J Hope told Big Hit, okay, I want to have a gap, 1 day gap in between the shows so that I can rest. I can rest my body. I can rest my vocal cords. That means they're spending more because they're paying for the day that the venue is not being used. If they're not going to dismantle everything, and my guess is that they're not going to dismantle because it's cheaper for insurance, human resource. Because if you're going to dismantle and then put it up again, then it's just another payment. So most likely they're just paying for the venue. So that in itself shows you just how much Big Hit values what J Hope wants. So those two things. My guess is that he got some tips from Suga, advised him to put a gap in between the shows so that he can rest, and that Big Hit is just paying for the days that he's not using the venue. Suga was their ambassador for solo tours. He definitely passed his list of do's and don'ts to them. Yeah, and I'm glad that he did. I mean, he and Jin have always been very good yongs to their kids, right? So I'm glad that he did it first. I'm glad that the rest of the boys will have some tips, and I'm also glad that in the next tour of Suga, which I will be attending, then he will know how to handle it better. Shakira canceled a concert here, and it will be in November. Okay, so let's talk about MG Ticket Monster. Did PTDLA, did the not PTD. Okay. So Jen, stay around. We're a friendly bunch. We're here to help. Who's Jen and what help this Jen needs? Yes, Jen, we're very, very friendly, even though I like calling companies. I like giving them evil nicknames, just the companies that are really evil. Okay, Kakao. We can do Kakao first because this is really funny. The Kakao thing was really funny for me. So they they got caught. My principle for things like this is that you can do whatever it is that you want, just don't get caught. In marketing, if you're going to do something not ethical, for as long as you don't get caught. I'm kidding. So they got caught. What they essentially did was that they pretended to be fans so that they can praise themselves because they don't have any other any other fan that will praise them. So they're praising themselves. Well, not exactly Kakao Entertainment, but the artists under them, the shows that they're doing, all of those things. So that's the crime. They pretended to be fans so that they can praise themselves, meaning the artists under them, and they got caught, and so they got fined. Okay. So, just to provide everybody a brief background, Kakao Entertainment is a Korean agency. So they have, if you Kakao Talk, they own that. Um, Many other companies under Kakao. So usually in communication, they started getting into entertainment and they started buying different companies. So one of the companies that they bought is IST Entertainment. They really want to be a part of, they really want to make a mark in K-pop. And you know this because they have been buying K-pop companies. So one of them is IST Entertainment, and IST Entertainment actually owns The Boys. Not owned, but the boy band is actually signed under IST Entertainment, along with several other groups. And then EDAM, which is being their sole talent is IU, the queen. But do remember that even before they bought EDAM Entertainment, IU was already IU. Like she's made. She has always been the soloist queen of Korea. So Kakao has nothing to do with her success. Okay, she did this all by herself. She actually made her company, not the other way around. Okay. So the company actually blew up because of her. And then there's Antenna, and they manage Yu Jae Suk, which is the favorite MC or master of ceremony of Korea, and Yori. Yori used to be a member of a girl group. She still sings and she's still a performer, but most of the time she's a brand ambassador for many brands, and she also hosts different TV shows. Okay. She was the original It Girl of of Korea. And then they own Melon. So this is the streaming platform, one of the biggest in South Korea. They own Melon, and they also distribute music. Okay. So aside from their own marketing companies, they market for different music labels in South Korea. Now, they got caught and they were found guilty of deceptive advertising. As I've said, essentially, in simple terms, in layman's terms, what they did is that they pretended to be fans so that they can praise themselves. Nobody's praising them, so they paid people to pretend to be fans. So they were fined 265,000 US dollars, which is not a lot. They can definitely pay that. That won't make a dent in their bank account. That's nothing. All right. But at the very least, they were found out. So what they did, they acquired or opened 15 social media accounts. My God is that it's not just 15, but they were caught 15. That's how many they were caught having. So they bought music channels, total number of followers. So if you aggregate all the followers of all the social media account, it totals 4.11 million. And they acquired it or opened it between October 2016 and February 2023. Sorry, 2024. And they made a post of a total of 2,300 promotional materials without disclosing the company's connection to them. So remember that if you are an influencer, for example, or if you have a YouTube channel, me for example, and Hybe pays me to praise BTS or praise the album of BTS or any member for that matter, I'm actually going to have to disclose that I am connected to the company, or I'm going to put some sort of a disclaimer that this is paid or that I have a connection to the company, or I'm going to be fined by YouTube, most likely deplatformed or demonetized, and somebody can actually sue me for deceptive advertising. Okay. So now that's what happened to them. They were paying influencers, not actually paying, just paying. They acquired the channel and they started opening their channel, boosted it, grew it, and then not disclose that they were actually the owners of it. And this channel's sole purpose is to praise the groups that are owned by or signed under the labels under Kakao Entertainment. Okay. So that is, and so they've been trying to get into the K-pop industry for a really long time, and that's why they were so eager in acquiring SM Entertainment. This is something they really wanted to do. I'm not sure why. Like Samsung is not interested in getting into K-pop because they're so big already in their own industry. I'm not really sure why Kakao wants to get into K-pop. So some of those channel is Musemon, and they are a Naver blog. They also have an IG. They have a Twitter account, and they have Facebook. And then another channel that they bought is Idol Lab, but they're primarily in Facebook. But I've heard of this actually, meaning that they have other channels. It's just that their main is Facebook. Another one is Are You Listening to the Song? That's the title of the channel. And they have a Facebook page, a YouTube page, a TikTok page, and an Instagram account. Okay. And then Hip Zip, also another Facebook and Instagram social media account. So these are just some of them, okay, not all of them. So the the ministry that find them said that these sorry, so the usual line that this influencers that the channel would say is that, oh, the song appeared on my algorithm today, I really really like it. Or they will say an artist I accidentally listened to and fell in love with, and then they'll share the song, they'll share the music video, interact with different followers, different people. So the usual hacks or the usual strategies of an influencer to grow their audience in the beginning. They would constantly interact with other people until their channel grows. And so they don't have to interact anymore. Anything that they say will be believed because they have the numbers to back it up. Okay, so these are samples of this thing are samples of the posts that they made. Okay, so another thing that they did outside of buying social media channel is that they ask their employees to write good reviews online on online communities. So these are forums like Instas, and there was a total of 37 advertisements on domestic online communities totaling 1.5 million subscribers, including these are the forums where they posted Deku, Pompu, MLB Park, Clean, and Instas between May 2021 to December 2023. So outside of social media accounts, they also go into forums. They didn't disclose they call it the economic interest, disclosing your economic interest in anything that you advertise. So they have total 427 SNS advertisements. So a post, if paid, is called an advertisement. Okay. So SNS advertisement is actually the posts that this channel's created, but because this is paid, it becomes advertisement. So 427 SNS advertisements for 860 million won to 35 advertising agencies between July 2016 to December 2023. Okay. A Fair Trade Commission official. So, this is a statement from the Fair Trade Commission. Popular music is strongly affected by bandwagon effect, influence on demand from others, word of mouth effect, and fandom effect. Whether the writer of a post is a general consumer or an advertiser has significant impact on consumer choice. So, concealing or omitting this is an act of deceiving consumers. And even, as I've said, even in the US, that is observed. If you are paid by the company and you're saying something because you are paid, regardless of whether you actually believe in what you're saying or not, you do have to disclose that. Otherwise, we also can get sued. Okay. Although the tolerance here is a little higher. But the tolerance of like the platform itself, for example, YouTube, the moment that they know you're not disclosing that you're getting paid by a company, you're most likely getting demonetized. You do it again, you're probably going to get deplatformed altogether. So, what because of what they did, which is most likely in their mind a business move, a marketing move, it raises questions as to the in relation to the authenticity of the success of their artists, right? Because you've cheated. You're doing all of this strategy. You're paying people to praise the artists that are signed under you. People are going to think, then are your artists actually getting praised, or are they getting praised simply because these popular influencers are posting about them or not? So it's unfair to the artists under them. That's why they shouldn't have done it. But you can't keep yourself, or you can't ask people to not think about this. So because of what they did, most likely there is no single organic success. Not they have not none of the, at least this is what people are going to think, that none of the artists under them actually had organic success, because everyone had the benefit of somebody who's paid saying that they are good, somebody who has enough influence telling other people they are good. Again, very unfair to the talents or to the idols signed under them, but it is their fault. The other question is, because many of their artists actually have a lot of brand deals. I just want to emphasize that IU is not included in this conversation, because even before Kakao acquired Edam, she was made. She's already IU. So, but the other question for the other idols that are signed under them is that are artists' brand deals deserved or born from connection? Because obviously, this guy, the CEO and founder of Kakao Entertainment, has no qualms about using his influence and his power in order to get what he wants. So, are they really getting the brand deals because they have brand power, or are they getting the brand deals because the billionaire owner of the company who owns their management company are asking other brands to get them as influencers or as brand ambassador? Okay. All right. So this guy is also the same guy who was jailed, but he's out on bail because he manipulated. Okay. He allegedly manipulated stock price of SM when they were trying to acquire it and going against HYBE in their acquisition of SM Entertainment. Now, he denied any knowledge of that manipulation, stock manipulation. And he's saying that it's actually one of the vice presidents that did the stock manipulation, but he had no hand in it. He said that he only gave the instruction to try and get SM no matter what, to buy SM Entertainment no matter what, but he did not approve stock manipulation as a tactic. So Hybe let go of that when they were outbidding. Kakao kept on outbidding them. So Hybe let that go. They still have some interest in SM Entertainment, but essentially they withdrew from the competition. Hybe let them go, but um, eventually Hybe actually filed a complaint, and that complaint ended up in a lawsuit. All right. So that is this guy. So he is actually being heard, but he's out on bail. He appealed so that he can go out on bail. The other big question in my head is, why are they still allowed to continue doing business in this field? I understand that he is not guilty and it is a corporate crime, not a criminal act. But also in my head, this is affecting other businesses. He's playing it dirty so other businesses don't stand a chance. That's one. Second, if he can do it in a big company like Hybe Entertainment, actually Hybe is not as big as Kakao, but still big. If you can do it in a company like like Hybe, then most likely you can do it to smaller companies. And so allowing a company who plays dirty actually affects the chances of other companies to rise. So if I were to make this decision, I will just not allow this company to exist. Sell this to another company because I don't want the employees fired, right? I want them to keep their job. And so I will just say, you're not a good CEO. Just sell this company. Sell this company because you are not an ideal, you don't foster an entrepreneurial environment in a country that really needs more entrepreneurs. So that's what happened with Kakao. But when I first heard about it, I swear I laughed so hard because that's how it arrived to me. That's how it landed on me. It was like, oh, so you pretended to be fans so that you can praise yourselves. Even me, I mean, I still am a very small YouTuber, but I have never done that. The extent of my self promotion is that when I was starting my channel, I would get the phone of my friends and play my video on their phone, even if they're not watching it. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna play it while we're talking so that I have more views, more organic views. Well, valid views is actually what it's called. Like that's the extent of my manipulation. But still a valid view because I would take my friends' phones. And sometimes I would send the link to my videos to my friends and I will tell them, just play it. You don't have to, yeah, you don't have to watch it. Just play it. Just so I have like clicks, I have views. But I have never actually created uh, an artificial, is that what they call it? Like a Finstagram, for example, just so I can praise myself. Okay. Someone needs to praise them. I just want to make it clear that it's actually not Kakao directly that they are praising. It's the idols under Kakao Entertainment or under the labels owned by Kakao Entertainment. I wonder if SM regrets not getting acquired by Hybe. I don't think so because the nephew of Katie Dreams and Fairlane is such a rebel. Very adventurous, right? But I'm sure my a lot of my friends were so irritated. Like every day, every time I would upload, like I would give them the link to the video, and it's like just play it. And if I don't see, because I had like very few views right in the beginning, because nobody knew about my channel. I'm sure if it doesn't go up by one, I'm like, you didn't watch. I know you didn't watch because my view didn't go up. And they were like, okay, fine. And then I just had them subscribe. And for those that aren't subscribed, I would get their phone and just subscribe. That was my self promotion in the beginning. Wait, okay, I digress. What was I talking about? Oh, did SM regret not getting acquired by Hive? I think no, I don't think they did, because the nephew of Fisuman, the original founder, the founder and former CEO of SM Entertainment, the nephew, I think, was really hell bent on being the CEO. And I also think the reason he wanted to stay so much, he wanted to make sure that Hype doesn't get it, is that he had existing contracts. Like, he had other companies he was working with and owned other companies that had contracts in SM Entertainment. So he was earning a lot from those contracts. They were vendors basically. So he created another company, became a vendor of SM Entertainment, and SM was actually paying the companies that he owned. And so he knew that if the company gets turned over to Hybe, then Hybe will end all of those contracts, because Hybe it's a conglomerate. So they have a lot of companies under Hybe that can take those contracts and do it in house. So I don't think that he regrets it. I do think that they are now realizing that it's not easy to run an agency. As I've said, I'm a huge ESPA fan, and I think that they are mismanaged. They are very, very successful. Don't get me wrong. They're one of the most successful girl groups, especially nowadays in South Korea. But I think that if they were managed properly, they should be bigger, because their talents they are so talented. So the amount of talent that they have does not properly equate to the popularity that they have. They could be now, by now, doing stadium tours if they were managed carefully, if they were managed the right way. The girls are so good, but they are not managed the right way. The only reason they're surviving is because the girls are so talented. Be kind. I've been following you since X. You had few followers back then. Yeah, so I actually started becoming active on X last year. I think around April is when I said, okay, I'm going to be active on X. Before that, I've had my account for a really long time, but I would go, like, I would post and then not post, and post and not post. And then I said, okay, like, because YouTube was starting to become stable, like, I kind of knew the pace it was growing, so it's like, okay, maybe I can do X. And the other reason I did X is because it is short form writing. Like, I can tweet very, very short things, and that would be good, right? Because that's the entire design of the platform. And so it's, yeah, so that I started, like, becoming very, very active April of last year. Before that, I would go in and out of it. And then the other thing is, that is also the reason a lot of people thought I'm a Jimin bias, or that I'm a Jimin solo, because right around the time that I started becoming active on X is around the time when he released Muse. Well, he released it way before that, but at that time it was his was fresh, and so I was pushing Muse. But now that J-Hope is the one that has a solo project, now people are getting mad at me for posting a lot about J-Hope. Okay. Um, Bang Luna said, I'm an OG Asian. Thank you. Um, do you think artists regret it? I think some of them definitely regret it. As I've said, I'm pretty sure the girls, for example, the girls of ESPA, they know how talented they are. The girls are just so, so talented. They really are. And I think they know that. And I think that they deserve more. Again, I'm not saying that they are a failure. They are not. They're one of the most successful girl groups in Korea. It's just that I think in their heads, they know that if they are being managed the right way, they will be bigger. That they won't be doing arena tours, they'll be doing stadium tours. That's how talented they are. So I think some of them knows. Like, I know some people actually wanted to leave already. I think some of them are just waiting for their contract to expire before they actually leave, because many of them are very, very loyal to Isuman. Like, Boa is very loyal to Isuman, and Teon is very loyal to Isuman. So How long is your contract with SM? So, as far as this is partially because Jessica, former member of SNSD, sort of disclosed it. The way SM Entertainment designs their contract with their artists is that it is 7 years because that is the maximum amount of years that the law in South Korea allows for an artist to be signed. But the 3 year extension is almost always automatic. So it seems like they just have a 7 year contract, but in reality, it's actually 10 years. So Jessica sort of mentioned that it's very tricky on how they do it, but basically that's what it means. So automatically after the 7 years, you get renewed for another 3 years. No, Fairlane has biases on each of the guys for different things at different times. Correct. That's exactly it. So I do have biases for each of the guys for different times. So it really depends on what they're doing on or what is the project. Every time BTS has a release, there's magically a scandal. Let's hope they come back peacefully. They're going to destroy the world. Pledis just can't manage a girl group. They should leave it alone. Not even Hybe can help them in this issue. Pledis. What girl group are they managing? Isn't just 17? Do they have girl group? Okay. Um why hasn't this blown up in South Korea? Isn't like Sajegi being dishonest? Because it's Kakao. I've actually said that Hybe absolutely sucks when it comes to maintaining relationships with the media. Because imagine this, the court already ordered that the court already said that New Jeans has to continue their contract with ADOR, and publications from Korea internationally, they're still calling them NJZ. They have no fear. I'm like, Hybe has like their relationship with the media absolutely sucks. And it only goes to prove that the only reason the media keeps on writing about BTS is that they just don't have a choice. The boys are just so popular that if they don't write about the boys, they're just going to. Oh, Pledis has promised nine. Okay. That is true. Okay. Yeah. So I would agree then. Pledis actually sucks because they weren't top of mind. They weren't top of mind when you mentioned it. Fire Butterfly said, it's painful to watch Hybe such a terrible media presence. I know. It's like, how do these media publications have so much guts to call New Jeans and Jay-Z even after the ruling of the court? I mean, in the US, you wouldn't even have to ask because I guess people just respect the court. Like if court actually asks you to do something. Dale Wood, Jimin is my bias, followed by J-Hope and Yoongi. Okay. After School and Orange Caramel were in Pledis, right? I don't know. I know After School. I was a huge fan of Yui. So that's how I know. That's how I know them. After School, I'm a Yui bias. I actually still am subscribed to her YouTube channel and I still try to follow what she's doing and whatever. I think she's such a sweet daughter and she's just a sweet person in general. Of course, very very talented. Pledis also had Yoonjin, Yi Sian, Kiss of Life, Nari, and Jo Yuri all training together but couldn't figure out how to put them together in a group. Maybe this incident things will change, hopefully. And then the other thing is, I think after this lawsuit, after this injunction, so they won the injunction, I hope that they will just start suing people. I hope that they will just start suing people. You can't go against the ruling of the court. I mean, I don't have a law degree and I know that. You can't go against the ruling of the court. If the court says it, you have to follow. If you want to fight it, you appeal, but you don't like just not do what the court tells you to do. That's not how you I don't know where these people are getting the guts to do it. Like I'm sure a lot of you are Americans, and so you know this. Like, if the court rules on something and you don't agree with the ruling, it doesn't give you an excuse to not follow what they say. You still do it. You just appeal, but you can't go like, yeah, I'm just not gonna do what you asked me to do. Like, that doesn't happen. Okay. Anyway, good publicity, bad publicity, still publicity. That's hype for you. Contempt of court. Yes. So let's talk about new jeans. Okay. Um, that is not new jeans. That is J Hope. I will find new jeans for you. Nope, that's not new jeans. Oh, there. That is new jeans. Um, Opokua Kwapong. What is that name? Sounds like a name that a Filipino can have, but I'm not sure. They should sue people and deny access to BTS. Absolutely. Miss Kim said Hybe acts like they're still a small company and they aren't anymore. All right, so let's talk about that. When Let's talk about J Hope. We will go back to talking about J Hope. So let's talk about this first because I'm actually happy with what New Jeans decided to do. And so what New Jeans decided to do was not do any kind of activity. So they said that they're gonna suspend any activities indefinitely because they respect the court's decision. And as soon as I heard that, I was like, yes. This is, in my point of view, in my opinion, this is the best case scenario for Hybe. Okay, I'm going to explain why. But I really think this is the best case scenario for Hybe. Um, as I've said, so they actually announced that they will halt all activities indefinitely in their complex con performance. And this is the best case scenario for all labels under Hybe. From Zico, Cause Entertainment to BTS to 17, all of the groups that are under the labels of Hybe, this is the ideal scenario. Okay. Because who ask yourself this, if they come back to Hybe and start working there, would you, if you are from Les Seraphim or Islet, would you feel, or even if you're in a member of one of the boy bands or just a staff member, would you feel comfortable working in a company and sharing a building with someone you know is loyal to somebody else who is hell bent in destroying the company that you're working for and destroying you as a um as a, what do you call that, as a collateral damage? Do you want to walk the halls of a building when you know there is a chance that you will actually see these people that, as I've said, is very loyal to somebody who's hell bent in destroying the company and you? And the answer is no, right? I'm sure every person in that building will say, no, I'm not comfortable doing that. The one of the things that you value that is very important in a company is loyalty. And if you know that amongst you is not very loyal, then that's not going to make you comfortable. It is a real threat. Having them in the building is a real threat. And only because they are so loyal to Min Hee Jin, right? And so they can, in their desire to help Min Hee Jin win, in my head, if I'm the one of the artists under Hybe, in my head, I would think that in your desire to help Min Hee Jin, you're most likely willing to do anything under the sun just to give Min Hee Jin any kind of ammunition to help her win. Okay, so it's a real threat, not like just a mental threat. Okay, so that's not it. Okay, so the first scenario is that New Jeans works under ADOR and they succeed, right? Let's just assume that they decide, okay, we're gonna work under ADOR and they succeed. Let's say they surpass their numbers, they continue to outdo themselves. What's going to happen is that with the way traditional media like Time magazine, for example, refused to report objectively because objectivity in journalism is apparently a thing in the past, they will most likely credit Min Hee-jin for the success instead of Adore and Hybe and the staff that they are currently working with. What's going to happen is that they're just going to paint Adore and Hybe as leeches. Because remember, in the press conference and in so many interviews, Min Hee-jin exclaimed that Nujin's success is because of her. She said that many, many times. They are successful because of me. If it wasn't for me, they're not successful. Everything that they do, it's all because of me. Everything that they're doing is all because of me. The music that they're using, that they're singing, it's all because of me, even if they weren't. And he had everybody convinced. So if New Jeans goes back and starts working with Adore and Hybe, most likely this traditional media, for some reason, Hybe isn't able to maintain a relationship with them. I don't know why, but most likely they're going to be painted at leeches and they will credit Min Hee-jin and nobody else. Now, the scenario is that, second scenario is that New Jeans works under Hybe and they fail. Guess what's going to happen? Because all, not all, but most traditional media just want to hate on Hybe. Most likely, they are going to accuse Hybe and Adore of sabotaging New Jeans and destroying New Jeans' IP, even though that is unreasonable because they are a business and they want to earn. But as I've said, as you've seen how traditional media, most of them, not all of them, but how traditional media is actually spinning the story, they're most likely going to blame Adore and Hybe at this stage. They will continue calling New Jeans NJZ, despite that. For one of the proof on how weak the relationship of Hybe is with the traditional media right now is that media outlets, traditional ones especially, are not afraid to still continue calling them NJZ instead of New Jeans. They go against the decision of the court. Now, whether how New Jeans will have acted with Hybe and Adore, because a lot of people are going to say maybe New Jeans will actually end up um, sabotaging their work, or maybe they will say they will do their best. But that I think is irrelevant. How they're going to act doesn't matter. It's actually the issue is the baggage that they bring to Hybe as they return. So it's actually really better if they do not return. And also remember that there is a bigger case here. Hybe has a bigger case. They are asking the court to validate or to affirm or to certify that the current contract, exclusive contract that they have with Adore, with New Jeans, is still valid. So outside of that, they still have Min Hee-jin has other court cases. One is against Source Music. Min Hee-jin claims that she personally selected the members of New Jeans, her unilateral decision to debut New Jeans as Hybe's first group, and her assertion that Source Music neglected its members. So they're suing her for that. They're suing her for that defamation, business interference, and insult. She's also facing a criminal case against B-Lift for defamation and business interference, following her claims that B-Lift's girl group I'll It plagiarized concept of New Jeans. Another court case is actually under source against Hybe itself. And it actually arose amid accusation that Min attempted to take control of Adore and separate it from Hybe. Okay, so what's happening is that this decision of New Jeans, number one, in Complex Con to continue using New Jeans, um, and to not get in contact with the staff of Hybe, the staff that Hybe actually sent to them to help them in the performance. This allows Hybe to pack evidence against New Jeans. So for as long as the only thing that Hybe needs to do now, okay, the only thing they need to do now is to make sure that they do their part of the bargain. So, for as long as they can prove that they are trying to secure work for New Jeans, Even if New Jeans refuse to work, that will be a moot point, because the only thing Hyde needs to do is to prove to court that they are doing their job to market and to manage and to grow the career and IP of New Jeans. The court can't ask for anything else. That's the only thing that they need to prove. So, with all these things that they are doing, they're just giving it to Hyde. They're giving Hyde the opportunity to pack all the evidence against them. Now, I don't wish them ill, as I've said. In fact, I wish that they can be free of their contract with Adore and Hyde. I do want them to pay the fine though. But I want this to be all done so that New Jeans will be something that they deserve and they alone, whatever that may be. So I want it to happen quick. So I hope that this bigger case that Hyde filed against, well, not against, but this case that Hyde filed in the court to validate their contract with New Jeans, I hope it happens quick. The sooner the decision comes, the sooner the settlement can come. And my gut feel is that the court cannot force the girls to work with Hybe if they don't want to work and Adore. So most likely it's going to be, as I've said, the same case as TVXQ, JYJ, where they just ask JYJ to pay a fine until they ask JYJ to pay a part of their earnings until they're able to pay a fine. At least in that way, they don't have to go back to Hybe. They don't have to be in that environment. And the other girl groups and boy bands can work in peace, not be threatened on whether or not somebody may be gathering evidence or setting them up. And also, the girls, New Jeans, can just work in any way that they want. Because the truth is that whatever it is that we think about Min Hee Jin, that's who they want to work with, right? Whether or not we like Min Hee Jin, that's who they want to work with. So they should just work with her. And whether they succeed or they fail or it's something in between, it'll be theirs and theirs alone. Okay. Now, the only thing is I am wondering who is advising them. Who advised them to do that in Complex Con? As I've mentioned in my preamble to this presentation, you do not go against the order of the court. If the court tells you to do something, you do it. If you do not agree, then you ask your lawyer on how you can actually file an appeal and save you from actually executing what the court wants you to do while you're filing the appeal. But you don't just not do what the court tells you to do. That doesn't work that way. You can't just say, not feeling it. I'm not going to do what the court asked me to do. So it, nobody can convince me that the second biggest firm in South Korea, which is the law firm of New Jeans, is Shin and Kim, is advising them to go against the court decision. You can't pay me enough to convince me that the law firm is advising them that. No law firm who wants to keep their license and their business going would ever advise anybody to go against what the court decision is. I don't have a law degree, and I know that. The court tells you to do something, you either appeal the decision, but you don't just not do it. Okay. Now, other questions that were asked. One is, did Hybe anticipate New Jeans' defiance? Kim and Chang is the biggest law firm in South Korea. They have a lot of brilliant people there. I am sure they wouldn't be number one if if they weren't filled with smart people. And these are strategists. These are people who actually practice anticipating every possible move and making sure that all those possible move they can win. So I'm sure that they know this is a possibility. I'm sure that they somebody already accounted for that to happen. And somebody in that firm or maybe even in Hybe said, look, even if the court orders them, there's a huge possibility that they will just not do what the court tells them to do. or that they will just do a hiatus, exactly what they did, that they will refuse to do any kind of work. So I am sure that given all of that, Hybe and Adore already know what their next move is going to be. I'm not worried about that, that they were caught off guard. You don't pay the biggest law firm in south of your country just so you can be caught off guard. If I have a law firm and they were caught off guard, they're gonna get fired faster than I can say 4 o'clock. So I'm not worried about that. Also, New Jeans actually said it very, very blatantly, very, very clearly in their closing statement during the injunction hearing. They very clearly said it doesn't matter what the reason is. We do not want to go back to Adore. We want to work with Min Hee Jin. And there are so many, 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 many ears in that court. They for sure heard that and they for sure know what that means. So yes, I think that Adore already anticipated that that's what New Jeans is going to do. In fact, I think they kind of already knew they were going to win the injunction, and that's why they were so ready for to deploy people in Hong Kong the minute the decision actually was handed down. That's why they said right after the lawyer exited the courthouse when they were given the injunction, they announced that Adore actually deployed people in Hong Kong to assist the group in their performance in Complex Con. I think they knew they were going to win, and I think they knew they were that New Jeans will defy the court, and that they were ready because they, like before, they need to get all of those information into use for the bigger court case. They just need to make sure, as I've said, they just need to make sure to look for opportunities for New Jeans and to keep on trying to contact them. I think at this stage, they also know the consequence of working with New Jeans. And I think they kind of know that that is not a path, that is not an ending that is possible at this stage. And they just want to make sure that they are covering their asses. So they just need to go through all of this motion in order to make sure that they win the court case, the bigger court case that they filed. That's it. Do you have questions? Um, Someone was actually asking a question. Give me 1 second to look for that. Will they have any contempt of court charges for defying the injunction? If someone, yeah, they can have that. Now whether or not it gets filed, that's a question. But yes, they can be sued for contempt of court. You just don't, as I've said, you're just a people. If the court tells you to do something, you just not do it. Don't do that. It's like I don't feel like doing it, so I'm not going to do it. You have to do it. And if you don't want to do it, you have to consult a lawyer and ask how you can actually suspend the sentence or the decision or whatever. But you don't just not do it. Okay. The law firm can blame the client. They did what they wanted and can throw up their hands. Um, my gut is that they are actually going against the advice of the law firm. As I've said, you cannot convince me that the second biggest law firm in South Korea is advising them to not do what the court told them to do. You can't convince me. There's just that will not happen. The law firm is a lawyer. Never mind the law firm. A lawyer is not allowed to advise you to go against the law or the decision of the court. It's illegal. They can lose their license. So I am 99.9% sure that their law firm is not advising them to do this. It's not advising them to do this. So it's most likely the decision of the five girls to defy the court. Um, in Complex Con, was any indication maybe MHJ is okay at being a creative producer, but she definitely doesn't have it together when it comes to helping a group put on a performance. So all of the big performances of New Jeans, yes, they were assisted by very good creative performance directors of HYBE, and they've talked about that in the past, like when they did I think they did Lollapalooza, right? So the group actually was helped by one of the performance directors of Hybe. Um, One of the best in Korea, as you know, is Son Sunduk, but he's now a creative director, so higher position. But yes, so they are Hybe has a lot of people that can help with the performance. So the performance yesterday, it was like all over the place. I didn't like the performance, but I'm not going to discuss like actually do a. I'm not going to dissect the the performance, but yes, I don't think if Min Hee-jin was the only one that helped them in that performance, it shows that she's not capable of doing. She's not a performer, a stage performance director. That's for sure. Okay. Was New Jean's pay given to ADOR or the girls? Well, if Complex Con doesn't want to get sued, they will have to give that to the girls. Sorry, not the girls. ADOR. However, payment for like festivals like this is very small. It's not a lot. It's festivals like this. You're sometimes they're actually paid like the rate of a union member. So you're not really there to earn money. It's mostly for exposure. The idea is that you get exposed to fans that are not necessarily your fans, right? Because some of the crowd would be there for other singers, and so you get exposed to those fan base as well. So you introduce yourself to a different market. For was it? I think Beyonce's performance of in Coachella. I think she. I think she was the one who paid for the production itself. Give me 1 second. Let me research. Like I think okay. So sorry. So for company, so for if you're a headliner, you get paid a lot. Um but the payment includes your production. So for example, for Beyonce, she had like a huge production for Coachella for 2 weeks. So when she got paid, that includes the payment for her production. So she was basically given the money and then she took care of the production. And I think she sort of said, me was it, I don't remember if it was in the documentary when she said, I didn't earn a lot because she had to add more to the budget of the performance because she really just wanted to put on a good performance. So she didn't care that she didn't actually earn any money. She just wanted to put on a good performance. So she paid more to produce the performance that she had, the two performances that she 2 weekends. So yeah. So they are targeting hip hop wannabes. Maybe the sexy. So the performance of the girls, like their solo performances, they were, they were grinding their hips, a little bit of twerking here and there. So I think they're definitely going for a more mature concept. And there are a lot, not all of them, but there are a lot of hip hop fans that actually like seeing that on women. I'm not saying all, okay? There are a lot of hip hop fans that just really want music. But as we all know, there are also a lot of hip hop fans that are very much used to seeing twerking and grinding, and that's what they gave the fan base in that festival. Beth, good night. I heard Korean GP is increasingly against New Jeans because they said a lot of anti-Korean sentiment. So this is the article of Time Magazine. I hope that none of you have actually read it because it's so biased. But in this article, they said a lot of anti-Korean things, and you just don't do that. Wait, are you seeing the complex? Wait, let me make sure that you're seeing it. Okay, there. So this is the Time magazine article, and in here they said a lot of anti-Korean sentiments. So of course, the country didn't like that. They were getting blasted and they were talking trash. Especially, I mean, I would forgive. I don't know if this is the same situation in your country. Like for me, if a Filipino talks trash about my own country, for as long as he's Filipino, it's okay. But if you talk trash and you're not Filipino, that's not okay. Something like that. So for Koreans, it's the same thing. So if it was a Korean talking trash about their country, it's probably okay. But they were somebody in that group was talking trash about them that wasn't Korean. Actually, no, I correct myself. Koreans are very, very sensitive when it comes to their country. Like they can blast their own country in their own country. Like if they will criticize their country, that has to happen in their country. But once you go out, you don't just tell the world BS about your country, right? So they didn't like that, the things that they said in that article. Now, Hybe is getting blamed for the negative comments about the Time article, as it wasn't bad enough to get comments on its own. Yeah, yeah. Actually, one of the things that, we have almost how many viewers on YouTube? I only see the total number of views. I think that's true for most countries. I think that's true for most countries. Yeah, I think so. Like it, I also think that it's true for families, right? Like if somebody talks trash about my sister, that's not okay. But if I'm talking trash about my sister, and I'm sure it's the same thing for her as well. Like she can talk trash about me, but nobody else should be talking trash about me, right? Because we're family, something like that. So anyway, um Dodger girl, 690, 689. Okay. Perfect. A lot of people. Okay, so let's talk about the one thing actually that we will end this so it's 140, 1 hour and 46, so it's a good thing because we will be able to end this in a good topic, and that is BTS. I just want to focus everybody in the business side of the solo projects of BTS. So one of the things that I'm just checking if somebody is a troll. Cindy, yeah, we're getting to the next topic. So one of the things that I want to highlight in this journey that BTS is going through is how forward thinking BTS is and Big Hit is when it comes to the career. Well, just in general in business, right? So, for example, the solo projects of BTS, that is not simply a solo project, right? By the way, I hope that you already bought your 7 Moments DVD, uh, because it is going to be released very soon. So I bought two. I will do an unboxing. Don't worry. So, okay. So, one of the things that we need to recognize is that the solo projects aren't just solo projects, they are actually a foundation. They aren't money making venture, they are an investment towards something bigger. And I am surprised that not many are recognizing the business brilliance, the brilliance of the business strategy of Big Hit. So, just to be clear about it, none of the um, none of the ventures, none of the projects that they had outside of the tour of Suga and J Hope, August D slash Suga and J Hope, none of those are really big money making ventures. So the brand deals, yes, but other than that, they didn't do anything that earned them a lot of money. As you know, albums, CDs, songs, streaming, they aren't big money making ventures. They are sort of a tool in order to allow the artist to do projects that are bigger, like a tour, projects that will actually give them a lot of money. So in this solo projects of BTS, the only big money making venture that they did was the brand deals that they had. Okay. So this article talks about how small you can actually earn if you're a singer from streaming and also from the sales of your CD. It has become the earnings from streaming is so small that it's hard for artists to actually earn from it. Um, okay, wait. I think give me 1 second because this is not the right slide. Give me 1 second. Okay. Um, right. Okay. I will pause and then upload my slides. Sorry about that. Am I still here? Am I still here? Yes? Okay, perfect. Okay, so Google did something really weird. It logged me out. Okay, 1 second. Let me upload the right slides because that is not the right one. Okay, give me 1 second. Sorry. It's also getting hot. It's like I don't do well with the heat, by the way. So it really affects me when it's starting to get hot. So the problem is that my AC is so loud. Everyone's gonna hear it when if I actually start running it. Okay, so I'm gonna have to find a way on how to keep myself in a better like temperature without blasting the AC. Okay, do cars still come with CD players? Yes. Why are you so red? Because it's so hot. Am I really really red? Like super red? It's so hot. Okay. I'm just waiting for my slides to load. It's the wrong slide that I loaded. Sorry about that. As you can see, it's taking a lot of time. Who's going to Korea? Okay, here. It's finally here. So let me restart so that when I re-upload, it's better. Okay, one of the things that we do need to recognize is the brilliance of the business strategy of BTS in the solo projects. The solo projects aren't just solo projects. This is an investment, something that they are doing now in order to reap the benefits in the far future. Okay. And I'm actually surprised that not a lot of people are recognizing the brilliance of their strategy. Okay. We can deal with some AC noise. Thank you. So in any kind of product development, there are phases, right? This aren't exactly, it's not a united thing, but mostly it's product development. And then once you release it, there's awareness, the sustaining phase, and then the reinvention. So right now, so product development is, for example, if you're releasing a new type of AC, a new type of aircon, you develop the product first. You try it, you see what works, QA, There's probably going to be released in select few, in a select market, to try and see the feedback and then improve it. And then once you think it's ready to go to market, if you're ready to go to market, then you raise awareness, you market it. Once you succeed, you sustain, and then you reinvent in order to not lose the interest of the public. So right now, the BTS, their solo projects, the solo careers, they're actually in the product development and awareness phase. Okay. Which is kind of odd because a lot of people are going to say BTS is already so popular, so they don't need awareness, but they do as solo artists. Okay. So in the product development stage, that's when they actually solidify what it is that they can offer. So BTS's solo projects are investments towards their future, because this is when they're actually building the brand of BTS members as artists. This is when they're starting to discover what kind of artist that they want to be, what kind of market they're going to be targeting or catering to, and how they can be properly marketed there. So don't expect BTS and Big Hit to go all out in the things that they are doing. They're doing it all out in the extent that they have to. But the kids are still very much in the phase of discovering who they are as artists. Plus, everyone knows that they were about to enlist. So they can't, even if they wanted to, make the boys go on tour, do this and do that, because they're trying to cram everything in the limited amount of time they had before they all had to enlist. So remember that at this stage, they're still building the product. So for example, for um, for Jungkook, he knew that he wanted to be a global superstar. So they're starting to see in the first project, okay, do this, let's see this, what kind of market you're going to be pulling, what kind of songs you can actually sing, what things you want to, what are the things that you want to do, what markets you want to get into. The same with Layover of V. He wanted to do something very different. He experimented working with another producer outside of Hybe. And then same thing with J-Hope. He went very, very dark and then decided, okay, I'm going to do something street. The same thing with D-Day. For D-Day, it's a little different for August D because he actually closed that chapter, the first chapter of his career, and he's about to open the second one. The same thing is true for everybody else. They're starting to build their identity as artists, and that is the investment part. Once they kind of knew, once they know, okay, I know what I like doing. I know this the approach that I want to make when I go to market, then they can go all out in the activities that they want to do. So remember, these are just foundation. The solo projects, these are investments. These aren't money making venture. So people have the tendency to say, "Oh, okay, he only did this, not this. He only did that, not that. He's not that successful." But what they're missing the point. The point is that BTS is still building their product, their own brand. Okay, this is the development phase for them. So, as I've mentioned earlier, most of the time, the only consistent thing that everyone did is release an album, some full album, some mini album, but that's the most consistent thing. But albums actually don't make a lot of money for the singer because especially if it is streaming, the earning is so little. So I know that there's a lot of numbers going out that the song earned this much and the song earned that much. Remember that BTS is not the only one getting paid in that song. The distributors, songwriters, producers, the label itself, taxes, the streaming platform itself, a lot are getting paid. So even if the song earns, for example, 10,000 in a day, you're distributing it to how many people? That's not a lot. And then you still have to pay taxes. Okay. So those CDs did not earn them a lot. So if you're thinking, why is Big Hits earning not so big, even if a lot of the members actually released an album? That is the answer, because CDs itself, they're not a money making venture. Tours are, and brand ambassadorship is. Okay. So the major source of income really of a label is tours. That's the biggest one, especially if you go stadium tour. That's the biggest money making venture. Brand partnerships, that's another one. But it is even better if the kind of brand partnership that you have is something like BTS and their partnership with McDonald's. If you watched my interview with attorney Ken, you would actually, he mentioned that, and also with Rachel Meng. So if you haven't watched that interview, go ahead and watch that interview, because she actually mentioned there that when you do a brand partnership with luxury brands like Chanel, LV, Dior, a lot of these influencers don't get paid a lot. What these influencers or models or celebrities are after is the name of the brand, because they would think, other brands would think, once you are signed by Chanel and LV and Dior, that, oh, you pull the numbers, you have that in your portfolio, it means that you are consistent with their brand, I'll get you and pay you more. So usually smaller brands pay more, which is kind of odd. But that is because, with, as I've said, luxury brands, you get the name more, the name, the value of the name is more valuable. That is why getting partnerships like the one they got from McDonald's is even better, because they got a cut of the sales. Now, the good thing about BTS is that they already have a value. When they got signed with brands like Dior and LV and whatever, they already had, their name already has a value. So BTS was able to say, nah, we actually don't need you. So they were able to command their actual fee with these brands, because BTS don't actually need them, right? Because when they signed, they were made. So if they don't want they don't like paying the fee, then they can go do whatever they want to do. The other thing, I was about to say something bad. So the other money making venture is syncs. So this is when you get the song, a movie or a TV show gets this song, and it gets played as part of a soundtrack. As you know, the big winner for Sinks is Jimin, because his friends, the one that the song that he produced, wrote and also performed along with V, was a part of the soundtrack of Eternals. And it wasn't just the CD soundtrack, but the soundtrack of the movie itself. And it is Marvel, and it is a big budget movie. So he was a big winner for the Sinks. Now, a lot of the songs of BTS actually gets, uh, they actually get used. A lot of the songs of BTS get used by many brands, many commercials. A lot of people just don't hear about it because most of the time they're aired on traditional TV. But because Jimin wrote solo, he was basically the producer and the songwriter of Friends, he got the chunk of the payment, so he was a big winner for that. But if it is a big movie, if it is a big TV show, most likely they earn a lot of money. So anyway, so those are the biggest money making venture. But the point is that in this first phase, in the solo projects, this is to give each member a chance to explore their identity before venturing into heavy commercial exploits such as a tour. So when somebody says, "Oh, BTS released so many albums, but Big Hit didn't earn a lot or Hype didn't earn a lot," because it wasn't meant to be. It is an investment. The same way Hybe is investing in other companies for the future, they're also investing in BTS. Jimin was also in the Fast in the and the Furious, his song Angel and Angel Part 2. Yes, that is true. He didn't write that. However, he was just a not just, but he was a vocalist. He performed it, but he did not write it, like Friends. So it is brand building. They're in the brand building phase. And in the brand building phase, there are two targets: the fans and the media. Okay, always two targets: the fans and the media for a celebrity. So for the fans, outside of the fans that they have as BTS members, they started gaining some new fans. And that's why a lot of casual listeners, people that don't really consider themselves to be army, actually go on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram talking about, "Oh, I like Jungkook, or I like Suga, or I like RM, I like Jimin, V, Jin, J-Hope." I don't want to miss one because people are going to accuse me of not liking that member. So they are getting discovered by new fans, right? So especially and that happened in the solo ventures, in the solo projects, they get discovered by new fans. And so that's why I keep on saying, don't expect every fan of an individual member to also be a fan of the whole group, because many of these people actually discovered the members as individual performers, and that is the whole point. You want them to expand the market, and the hope is that some of these people that became fans of one of the members will also come and be a fan of the whole group eventually, at least some, not necessarily all. So the group is also benefiting from the success of each member. And then you have, of course, Hot 100, number one. Two members actually ended up bagging the number one spot in Billboard Hot 100, Jungkook and Jimin. So all of this became catalysts, and of course, the tour. So all of this actually became catalysts of them uh, gaining new fans, getting new fans for themselves. And remember, once they actually have go on their solo ventures, that becomes important. You want them to have their own fans and not just fully rely on the armies, because we don't have perpetual source of income, right? So at some point, we're going to get drained. You do need enough people that will cover once we run out of funds. Okay. Now, on the other hand, so you have the new fans that are discovering the boys, and then you have the media, and they know of BTS's success, and they are always watching. And not just the media, actually, even the major labels in the US. It is their job to actually watch the trend. And so this number, Billboard Hot 100 number one, sold out tour, they know that. They are aware that BTS members are experiencing success without the group itself, and it is unprecedented. Okay. And then, of course, the refinement. As BTS members continue to explore individual projects, they refine and they refine their skills, they refine their stage presence, and they refine the kind of artist that they are going to become. What's even better is that in every single project, it is a step above the previous one. So, for example, meaning they'll have good result in one of their albums, but in the next project it's going to be better. So for example, for RM, he had critical acclaim with Indigo, but when he released RPWP, he actually won critical awards in different film festivals. So it's always a step above. For Suga, he had a lot of streams, 700 million streams in Spotify, but then he did a tour. So he outdid himself in D2. It's always an elevation. The next project is always better than the previous one. For Jimin, for example, he hit Hot 100 number one with Like Crazy. But with Who, he actually stayed in Billboard Hot 100 for 33 weeks. So he had a huge burst and he broke a record in Like Crazy, but he proved that he can sustain the success in Who. Again, it's an elevation. It's always better. So Jungkook performed in Dreamers. He's actually the first Asian to actually perform in such a big venue. It's bigger. The World Cup is actually bigger than the Super Bowl. But then by Golden, my God, the kind of success. So he had 19-week charting song in Billboard Hot 100. He got to Billboard Hot 100 number one, and then of course he performed in Times Square. So again, an elevation from the previous one. So at this stage, they were able to prove that every single member is actually successful in every single venture that they want. And this is exactly the kind of investment that they need in order to push forward in their solo projects. Remember, it is an investment now, and then in the future, what they want to do is actually go to market. They're building their brand, they're building their product, and then they want to go to market. So if anybody tells you that the other members are not successful in this, they didn't do this, they weren't able to do it, the whole point is not to become, of course they want to be successful, but the whole point, the main point of the solo projects is to first build the product, have some indicators of success. And once that happens, once they go venture into an actual like full blown career, once they're done with their group activities, they know exactly what to do. So just like how Hybe and Big Hit are investing in companies, they're also investing in BTS. So once again, BTS remains to be the primary product of Hybe and of Big Hit. Does that make sense? Do you have questions? True. I hope Solo will not disrespect other members because they love one member so much, putting them down jealous around. Is BTS going to be US based after military service? I don't think so. I mean, for sure, I think they are going to spend more time in the US because of the projects that they're going to be doing. I I mean, Suga was pretty open about the fact that he wants to do international projects. Like he wants to produce for other artists. He wants to become a songwriter for other artists. And if they want big bucks, of course, they shouldn't limit themselves to Korea. And I'm sure don't I'm sure Jungkook and Jimmy are probably going to do a lot of US projects. Actually, even V, because the jazz, if he's going to stay in jazz and R&B, there's a bigger market in the US in jazz and R&B. But of course, we don't know. It's V, so he's capable of like turning doing a 180 anytime that. So it's when it comes to V, you can't expect the next, like there's just no anticipating what his next move is going to be. But so I'm not saying that I'm boxing him in just in jazz and R&B. But if he does stay in jazz and R&B market, it's biggest in the US. So the indicators are there that they will most likely end up spending a lot of time in the US. Whether or not they're going to just stay in the US, that's up for discussion. I don't think so. I mean, they're Koreans. I'm pretty sure they would want to go back to the country. Okay. Yoongi sings my soul. Leia said, Yoongi sings my soul. Tae is very unpredictable. One of the things I love about his personality, he keeps me on my toes. I think he's going to do something that will be totally unexpected. Like, what the hell? I think if there is anybody in BTS who can do that, it is him. I still think though, and I will advocate. I hope that eventually he does something like the Greatest Showman on Earth or something, the Best Showman, the Greatest Showman, something like that. I hope he gets to do something. I think he's just going to like nail that role. I don't think anybody. I think outside of Hugh Jackman, it's him that can actually do something like that. So I hope he does something like. I don't. I'm not saying that he does a remake of that. I want something like that. Danji said they need to move out of SK, I'm telling you. There reminds me of me when I was younger. I don't see him getting away from Korea. He will just mix it up. Who? They will travel a lot and be free as they want to be, but they will still love Korea as home. I think so. I think so. Big Hit and Hybe, in my opinion, already have a year worth of plans with the boys, agreed upon. We did not expect Mona Lisa. So if you watch the last interview of J Hope, he mentioned something. He was asked if the plans of BTS is already solid, like they already have a specific plan. And at first he was like, oh, I can't, and then eventually he said, like, I think we're going to start talking about it when they complete their military service. Okay, they cannot do anything while they are serving the military. They cannot do anything that will earn them money, even if it is in the future. So that's why J Hope was like, I'm not saying that they've actually already planned. I think the more possible, plausible thing is that even before they serve, they have like a general plan on what they are going to do. And I think that includes a world tour, because you don't book a venue in like 6 months. it takes years to book a venue. So I think even before they served, they already had that in their plate. Like, okay, brief, like in general terms, this is what we want to do. But I do think, I believe in J Hope when he said, like, the details of it will be planned once everybody's out of the military. But yeah, when you are serving the military, you can't do anything that will make you money. Now, if you do something before you serve and then release it while you are serving, then yes, then you can do that. They've done that so many times. They prepared everything. They prepared everything, and then once they are in the military, they started releasing. That is allowed. But while in the military, you can't do anything that will earn you money, even if it is in the future. Knowing that Hobie has a third song, I wish it comes out at Asia Leg. Someone said it could be LV Bag. Someone said the trilogy could be LV Bag, Sweet Dreams, and Mona Lisa. Leia said, I'm 56, no children. Well, I have no biological children. I just helped raise my niece, who sometimes, like, sometimes if I say, oh, my daughter, I'm actually referring to her. She's my sister's daughter, but I helped, not only me, but I helped raise her. Bang Shiyuk in Mexico and meeting with top executives in Latin America. Media hints something great in this area for all hype, especially with the concert company they acquired. And they also have a label in Latin America. They will appear in the Super Bowl in 2026. That's why it was not such a big deal for JK to not join Usher. Let's see. I think Jin can also do a 180. Yeah. Yes. Oh, yeah. I mean, practically everybody, right? It's just that I think Te is the one, like, that will do something like, what on earth? Something like that. that kind of that kind of reaction from us. Um Wait. Oh, Claire said, I think the trilogy is Sweet Dreams, Mona Lisa, and Surf. BTS Super Bowl, OMG. Dodger Girl. What is there a competition on who's older? Why are you like, I'm older? I don't think so, Fairlane. J Hope said he had one more song. Lindsay. Lindsay said J Hope said he has one more song. Okay, great. I mean, anytime he releases I'll take what I can get. So yeah. Danji said if you want to see Taeyong do something in jazz, then something with someone great in the jazz world. Oh, you for sure. Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of jazz. It's one of the few songs that I not few songs, but one of the few genres I don't seek, right? I can't remember a time when I would just pull up my streaming platform and look for a song to stream, a jazz song to stream. But of course, I always support Taeyong, but I'm more of an R&B person. Okay. What about Gemini? The song? The World Cup in the US. Okay. Do you have questions? By the way, for everybody who's joining us, KT Dreams, I'm going to email you in that email address that you sent me via Patreon. So I'll email you the payment details. Don't worry, your ticket is secured. Now, I do have a big announcement. How many people do I have here? I have a big announcement. So, um, actually, I'll do it next time. uh, okay, so I have several big announcements. So this is one of them. If you're going to join us in the Korean barbecue on Saturday, please let me know. We're trying to work out a place, a Korean barbecue place that will allow us to reserve because most of them um, don't allow reservations. We wanted to I want to go to Agashi Gopchang because that's the favorite Korean barbecue place of BTS, but then they don't accept reservation. So and there's like already 20 of us. I don't know how we're going to work it out, but Fire Butterfly said, for whatever works for the meet up or the concert. Okay, thank you. I think for the meet up, we're going to give it as a tip to the server. JR, what is your email on Patreon? I couldn't find it. My email, I will put it here. Mm, what should I use? I have so many email addresses. I'll give you this. Mm. I don't know what to use. Um, did you get that? Who was the one asking? JR. Did you get that? What's your email on Patreon? Did you get that? Oh, I can reply to you. There you go. I hope that you see that. I got many emails. You're missing all the lives. So I think the confusion is that we went back an hour. I mean, LA. Oh, thank you, the Bio Explorer. More for the tip. Have something tasty for me. I hope that next time you can actually join. Let's try to like really do a big meet up in the OT7. How about that? OT7 concert. So in OT7, I'm planning to get a suite again. I don't know how I'm going to do that, but that's my plan. Sade. Is that Sade or Sadi? Ex Teong. Jelma, good night. By the way, it will be Glitter Day in Seoul Olympic Hall this weekend to celebrate Isle It. Oh, that is going to look good. Bang Luna said yes. Okay. Oh my God, we are at 2 hours 21 minutes. So who said Sade? Sade and V. Someone said Sade. What time is the barbecue starting? I need to work that day, but hope I can make it. So I'm planning to do like late lunch, like 1:30, so that people can do things in the morning. Because one, as you know, once we go in that barbecue place, we're gonna smell like barbecue the entire afternoon. So you really definitely have, like, if you're going to do something else, you have to go home or go back to your hotel so that you can shower and wash off how it's going wash off the smell. So one the answer is 1:30. So we're just trying to work out like a place that will accept reservation. JR said, I definitely have to go to LA for our boys' return concert. Yes, yes, please. So I'm still planning to do my Korean tour. Most likely at the end of the year, like December, November, December. I hope they do something there. So that's still in the works. The only reason I haven't planned it, I haven't like really solidified that, primarily because I'm waiting for their schedule, and then my niece, my niece, is planning to do some, like, she wants to go to Europe to watch the concert of Stray Kids. So, one at a time. I thought that's pronounced like Shade, long A, Shade. Okay, Shade is how it's pronounced. I don't know who that singer is, by the way. I haven't like. Rhea said yes. I'm hoping for suite in OT7. Oh, you better save, because if they definitely will do a stadium, and it is not cheap. Not cheap. Tessa, thank you for the service or who takes care of 20 J Hope fans. Have fun. Thank you. Oh, now we have, I think that would be like a good tip. Shade, thank you, Tessa. I hope that you can also join us in the OT7. So I'm hoping to do like so California. I want to do California. If I can get a ticket in Korea, I mean, I will. So I want to do Korea. I want to do California and probably one in the East Coast, and then one in, if they do Wembley, I'll definitely do Wembley. And I don't care what kind of ticket I get, even if I get like the nosebleed ticket, I'm fine. Um, but I definitely want to go there. So hi Ninang Fair. This is probably my grandchild. So this is the child of my sister's son. Ninang is godmother. That's what it's. Hi, hello. Agreed. Okay. All right. Um, she sings smooth operator. Ah, okay. Oh, now I know her. Now I know her. Um, I kind of want like a Michael Bublé Taeyong collaboration. Maybe, yeah, Michael Bublé. Maybe David Foster. David Foster and Taeyong. Michael is abusive? He is? Abuser? What? Not Michael B. Who? Who is an abuser? She's already 66. Is she still active? We need the live during barbecue. um, Josh Groban. Fire butterfly. Michael Bublé is an abuser? I did not know that. Sade. Sade is really good. My husband's favorite. Okay. All right. We are approaching 2.5 hours. Caribbean lady. Say one now. So nobody knows. Is that true? Michael Bublé. But isn't he married to the daughter of David Foster? Oh, so the wife denied it. The wife said it's not true. I don't think Gaga and V would vocally match well. Ah, Harry Connick Jr. is a good pick too. Yeah, true. Okay, we are 2 hours 27. Like Ellen's wife denies it too. Is Ellen an abuser? All these things are like what? V wants his next project, something sexy and fun. Sugar asked him about it. Where are J Hope songs charting? Where are J Hope songs charting? So it is on pace to enter Billboard Hot 100. This is not the one that's going to be released tomorrow. The full list of Billboard Hot 100 will be released tomorrow. That's not the one. So the one that is coming, that's where we will wait for that for Mona Lisa. Am I right? When was Mona Lisa released? Was it released like this Friday? 3J should do a dance number, a bop, for sure. Okay, John Legend. That is good. John. Last week meaning Friday, Thursday of last week. Thursday of last week, right? So if it is Thursday of last week, it's going to chart next week. The one that's going, not the one that they will release this week, the one that they will release this coming, the next release. Okay. He's married. Okay. Ellen was abusive to her staff of her show. You see, this things confuse me. I know that her staff were abusers. Like some of her staff were abusers. I did not know that she is an abuser too of her staff. I've always thought that it was her staff members that were doing the abusing, and of course, it is her fault because she owns the company and she owns the show. So yeah, Thursday. Okay, so if it was released Thursday, then the tracking week will end this Thursday. The tracking week will end this Thursday, and then it's going to count to the next release of the chart. Ellen got a bad r- rep during COVID when it was her staff members, not her. I mean, I'm not saying that she isn't responsible for that. Of course she is. I mean, she's the owner and she's the like the host. But I've always thought it was her like it was her staff members. And also, like, my only thing is that let's also give grace. People can change. If we all just say you did this one thing and you can never be forgiven, then that's all of us, right? We've done something really horrible in the past. So if nobody forgives us, then we will not all be here. So let's also like give grace. Let's give people the opportunity. Maybe they did one mistake, or maybe that was who they were in the past. Does not necessarily mean that's who they are now. Okay, so let us continue our discussion about Ellen in the next live stream. My dog wants to do his last last come here. He wants to do his last putty. So he wants to say goodbye before I say goodbye. He wants to say goodbye to everybody. Had a good night's sleep for 2 hours while I was talking. Say bye bye. Bye bye. Say bye bye. Tell everybody bye bye, everybody, because I need to go to my potty. Okay. Second chances. Yeah. Okay. Say bye bye to everybody. Bye, people. We will see you Wednesday. Everybody, we'll see you Wednesday. Bye bye. Say bye bye. Bye bye. Bye, everybody. Thank you so much. I'll see you on Wednesday. Bye. Thank you for spending this time with me. Bye bye.